guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to Raidlore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for one of the new mythics in the game, Gizmak the Terrible. So this is his normal form, and here's his Super Saiyan form. Ta-da! Look at that. Really cool. I love how they do the transformations. I think they did such a good job with him. So we're going to check out his lore story, and we're going to see about this guy. He's the brand new mythic for the Ogren tribe, so let's check it out. Gizmak had always been a runt. He hailed from the Glower tribe, an Ogren community that inhabited the caverns beneath the Dawn Mounts. Though subterranean Ogren tend to be leaner than their muscular overground kin, Gizmak was downright scrawny, and in the unforgiving environment of tribal life was at the bottom of the Glower social hierarchy. Gizmak received the most odious tasks. He was required to transport muck to the tunnels and tribe used as dumping grounds. It was used as bait to capture all sorts of subterranean wildlife, from megacondas to scuttle fiends. He was required to constantly keep the torches and fires in the tribal caverns lit, a duty that consumed almost all his time, as he scurried from one chamber to the next. While he fantasized about one day igniting his abusers with those same flames, he never dared, and any complaint he made saw him receive a fierce beating. After one such punishment, Gizmak was wandering distant tunnels, sniveling bitterly to himself. Friendless as he was accustomed to the company of his own voice echoing back at him from the low ceilings and stony walls. On this occasion, however, the echoes did more than repeat his words. They spoke to him of his own volition. They told Gizmak he did not deserve the cruelties heaped upon him, and that soon he would be the one inflicting them. All he had to do was go a little further down the tunnel. He took a few more paces and, without warning, the floor gave way beneath him. The shrieking Ogren bounced from one rock to the next before landing with bruising force on his rump. He found himself on top of a pile of rubble in a chamber he had never visited before. At its center was a strange column, made from what looked like petrified wood. It was a totem, carved with a trio of leering faces. Gizmak felt an overwhelming desire to touch the idol, a desire that the echoing voice urged him to give in to. Gizmak did so, and crimson light flared within the grotesque faces. It was the last thing he saw before his consciousness deserted him. When he awoke, Gizmak realized he was no longer in the strange cave, but back in his bolt hole among the tribe. Yet the totem was still with him. With no memory of leaving the cave or taking the totem, he stumbled out into the wider caverns seeking answers. He discovered a scene of chaos. The Glower tribe was in disarray. It seemed as though the tribe had been attacked. Gizmak got one of the other tribe runs to tell him what had happened. Equally shocked, she described how a huge brute of an Ogren had emerged from a lesser tunnel and set about the tribe. Even the strongest warriors had taken a brutal pummeling, and the rampage had only ended when the assailant had apparently grown bored and wandered off. None of this meant anything to Gizmak until he heard mention of what the attacker had wielded. A strange staff with 3 carved faces that burned with sorcerous red fire. He kept the totem a close secret, not daring to touch it again. As the tribe recovered, he continued suffering their abuses until one day they grew to be too much. He decided to show the tribe what he had found, believing it would finally earn him some respect. As he grasped the totem, he passed out again. Gizmak awoke to the same scene as before. To the dismay of the Glower, the huge Ogren had returned and set about mirthfully brutalizing everyone within reach. As the shocked Gizmak tried to work out what happened, the voice he heard in the tunnels spoke again. It claimed Gizmak had been fated for greatness by powers beyond his comprehension. Whatever the sentient totem willed it could fill Gizmak with strength, transforming him from a scrawny Ogren into the pinnacle of his species' might. The only downside was that the consciousness of the pair was not linked, and neither was aware or able to control the other. Still, the totem promised to pass messages between the two. Still disbelieving, Gizmak grasped the totem once more, this time intending to transform. Sure enough, in a blaze of crimson flames, the Ogre the tribe had taken to calling the Terrible returned, leering with ill intentions. This time, when he appeared before the Glower, he demanded their subservience and ordered them to cease their abuse of the one they knew as Gizmak. He was a good friend, or so the gigantic Ogre claimed, and was to be treated with respect. So Gizmak was elevated from lowly runt to honored member of the Glower tribe. No longer chewed with disdain, he was granted the most luxurious of caves to live in, the choicest food, and first claim on anything shiny the tribe got a hold of. Some of the wiser Oakren wondered why they never saw Gizmak and the Glower's new ruler at the same time. But all were too terrified of Gizmak's patron to challenge him. A new confidence came over Gizmak. He was stronger than ever, a result of the first proper food in all his life, and, he suspected, some result of the totem's magic. Gizmak would have never been content to live a life of luxury, but seemingly that is not enough for his new twin. Every time Gizmak awakes, he finds his terrible alter ego has set in motion new plans, bringing more subterranean tribes under his brutal rule, forming a coalition with him as Lord and Master. Even worse, it seems the totem's control over them both is now absolute, as Gizmak is unable to stop himself from transforming even without touching the arcane object, which he is sure he can hear cackling when his back is turned. Just what schemes the spirit apparently bound within is concocting, Gizmak does not know. Guys, I thought that was a good story. That was a fun and creative, huh? It's kind of like this whole Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. I like that. I actually really like that. I think that's kind of cool how they made it so that each time Gizmak is one of the forms, like, he can't control it. They're kind of like their own entities, but yet it seems like in the end, it's this totem spirit power that's actually kind of controlling them. So I thought that was a good story, guys. Drop me a comment down below what you think for the story for Gizmak the Terrible, and thanks for watching.